usage of calculators in the classroom.
Calculator depende sa situation, no? Kaya yung calculus, it's only for you to use a calculator. How come ang mga international nga mga contest allowed maggamit o calculator? So, a calculator for accuracy. Ang pinakamabilis. At na may oras, di ba? Pinakamabilis accuracy calculator. But then, pero sa basic, calculator is not allowed para ma-develop sa pinaka-basic, di ba? Pero the bigger the number, doon na, calculator mo gamit dito.
We are now here live in the Grade 6 MJT building, witnessing an ongoing debate between affirmative and negative houses, with the topic on using calculators in math class.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Hansel Jess V. Ibanez, your debate moderator. Today, a debate will be done by a group of Grade 6 mentally gifted and talented pupils under the advisory of Mrs. Eden P. Torres regarding the usage of the calculator in the classroom. First and foremost, let us introduce the speakers in our debate. Let us start from the affirmative side. We have speaker number 1, Right J. Bersola. Speaker number 2, we have Nathaniel Dave T. Tagapulot. Speaker number 3, we have Pauline May N. Kumaling. Speaker number 4, we have Chaskol P. Pase. And speaker number 5, we have Rico Orgal II. While in the opposition bench, we have speaker number 1, Nika Luis G. Bulawin. Speaker number 2, we have Roxdale Mariel Asunta B. Ruiz. Speaker number 3, we have Daniel Lois B. Palayan. Speaker number 4, we have Christine Athea N. Tan. And speaker number 5, Josh G. Hinalado. We also invite our Board of Judges. We have Mrs. Dolita A. Payat, Master Teacher 1. Round of applause, please. Our second judge, our very own Ms. Galialine S. Flores, Master Teacher 2. A round of applause, please. And to our head judge, Ma'am Jessica Jo Hinakay, Principal 1 here in City Central School. Thank you very much, dear judges. So for our debate, speakers, you have 3 minutes for introduction, 2 minutes for rebuttal, and also a buzzer will be switched to let you know that your time is already done. We would also like to thank our cameraman, our time recorder, and to our news anchors. Now, let us hear from the affirmative and negative benches. What do you stand for?
With all due respect, we believe that calculators must be used in class because using calculators is the most fast and accurate way in solving, and that calculators help equip the student with a better math understanding. And these tools can be used by students to attempt solving problems which would otherwise discourage them.
With all due respect, I, the speaker number 2 of the opposition bench, will explain. Calculators will keep the students to do all the things, thinking and solving. In other words, the student will depend on calculators but using their own attentive minds.
Good afternoon. Campbell's statement broadly sums up the overriding issue for most classroom teachers. What is the most productive use of valuable class time? And the answer to that question may lie in the reasons why they teach math today. Shane Cardell,
a professor of mathematics at Central Arizona College, offered his 10 reasons for learning math. 1. To understand numbers and patterns found in nature. 2. To know when and how to use math tools. 3. To make fast and accurate predictions. 4. To grow and maintain mental power. 5. To understand invisible things. 6. To think logically and clearly when solving problems. 7. To operate systems using profound knowledge. 8. To recognize long-term causes and effects. 9. To check the reasonableness of answers. 10. To feel comfortable in technological world.
Time is up.
Good afternoon. This house believes in the usefulness of calculators in classroom or in class hours. And we, in the opposition bench, totally disagree with the motion. With the advent of smartphones, many of us now carry calculators in our pockets wherever we go. However, that doesn't mean students should rely on calculators to do all thinking. And it certainly doesn't excuse them from learning basic facts. And it's important for teachers to point out the appropriate times for calculator usage, and at times when the only computing device needed is your brain. Do we always need to depend on calculators? Will calculators make us learn more by not being dependent?
Let us now hear the opinion of speaker number 1 from affirmative side, followed by speaker number 1 from negative side.
Technology is huge.
Learning how to use such technology.
It's why good for students to have an understanding of
How to use a calculator. Math is
tedious and might not be everyone's favorite subject. Calculators have been made more enjoyable, and students and teachers alike
seem to agree that they
have
have
some sort of use in the classroom environment.
Now, as the leader of opposition, will proceed to my arguments. I have 2 arguments for you today. First, many of us may have lack of skill building. Calculators take away the necessity for a student to know the basics. Second, not learning concepts. As stated, being able to record an answer on a sheet is simple enough, but understanding the underlying concepts behind the equation show true understanding and mastery of the mathematical subject. Yes, they may give minor positive results if calculators be implemented, but the outcome if we understand what we solve, the more we learn. That is why we must nurture and train students to solve on their own while they are still young. In conclusion, calculators cannot help minors to develop their learning skills, but they are developing their being dependent. Basically, it wouldn't have a huge impact.
Time is up. Let us now hear the rebuttal starting from affirmative side. You will only have 2 minutes.
With all due respect, my dear proponent, do you think the calculators make up your program? Yes?
yes, Peter 1.
Yes, sometimes. Because if we always use calculators, our brain will depend on it always. Yes, speaker number 3.
So your answer to that question is yes. So if on our side we use calculators, then are we dumb? And you on that side, because you don't use calculators, are you brilliant?
As what I have said, I said I sometimes. So For me, and for us in the opposition side, we think that calculators should not be implemented because our brains will be developed by being dependent. Yes, speaker number 2.
Why do you think that the calculators make the students dependent?
Because the calculators will not help them, because if you put numbers in the calculators, it will give the answer directly, and you don't know how the calculators solve it. Yes, speaker number 3.
You said that the calculators will not help the students, but the calculators will help the students because they fast track the students' ability and they solve the equations much more easy. Yes, speaker number 1.
It is not, with all due respect, it is not how.
Time is up. Now, your turn, speaker number 1 from negative side.
My dear opponents, this is my question. Is it a good thing to use calculators during math class or examination day or board exams? Yes, speaker number 1.
Yes, it's exactly important.
For you, why?
Be-
Yes, speaker number 3.
Calculators are important to use in math class because the calculators help the student have a better understanding on basic math problems, and with the help of calculator, it will speed up the math equations, and if we are fast in solving the calculations, then we will learn more.
How can we learn more if the calculators will give the right answer?
Because the students will be challenged to look for the exact equation to that problem.
Well, do you think all the students?
yes, Speaker G. What if the examination does not require to use calculator? How will they answer the problem if they depend on calculators? Yes, speaker number 3.
They, they can use the calculator for their practice for the test.
In examination day, there are no practice. Yes, speaker number 3.
So,
Thank you, speaker number 1. Now let us hear the opinion of speaker number 2 from affirmative side, followed by speaker number 2 from negative side.
Calculator proponents claim that calculators allow students to spend less time on tedious calculations and more time on understanding and solving problems. It helps students develop better number sense and allows students to study mathematical concepts they could not attempt if they had to perform the related calculations themselves. Teachers are hoping that what once seemed to children a tedious labor may, through calculators, become fun. We in the opposition bench totally disagree with the motion. I have 2 arguments for you today. First is complacency. Although calculators are able to quickly add, divide, multiply, and subtract, students still can't use calculators as their complete fallback plan. They still need to know how to do math longhand. Second is cheating. Graphic calculators are advanced calculators that perform a variety of functions besides basic multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. They also allow users to store notes, but that's not always a good thing for teachers or students. If you allow students to use calculators on tests in your class, they might store formulas, rules, and other notes on their calculators, and they use the information to cheat on the test. That's why teachers must implement a calculator policy that clearly spells out when students are allowed to use calculators.
Time is up. Now let us start the rebuttal. You will only have 2 minutes.
My question for you is, why can you say that using calculators is cheating? Yes, speaker 1.
Because it may store notes.
But it is not in exam time.
So, if the teacher didn't say so, you will not use it.
Yes, speaker number 3.
Not all calculators will make the student depend on them, and not all students will also use the calculator as their cheating, because calculators can even help motivate the students and make them have confidence in themselves, because once they know the equation of a math problem because of the calculator, they will think that they have a potential in math and they will gain confidence. Yes, speaker 3.
How can they understand long or difficult mathematical problems if the calculators that they are using can't give the solution, even if they solve the problem? But how could they understand the problem? Yes, speaker number 1. As we said, when they get the answer in their calculator, they will gain confidence to find the answer in their own way. Yes, speaker number 3.
And now,
Speaker number 2 from negative side. It's your turn.
Which do you prefer as a young student? Using calculators or using your own mathematical abilities? Yes, speaker number 1. Why? Why can you say it's both?
Because when you use calculators, you will also learn. Yes, speaker number 3. What if we will let you choose only one from the 2 options? What will you choose?
Yes, speaker number 3.
actually, my dear opponents, both of them have a connection to each other, because if we use technology, we can also learn. Because now in the modern society, some calculators already have equations on how to solve geometry, algebra, and basic trigonometric functions. Yes, speaker number 1.
If he or she is poor.
Yes, speaker number 3.
If they are really willing to learn math, then they can borrow from their classmates or from their teacher. Yes, speaker number 1.
How will they learn even those formulas they can't understand?
Then they will challenge themselves to understand the formulas.
Thank you, speaker number 2. Let us now proceed to the speaker number 3. Let us hear their opinions.
My dear opponents, calculators are useful to students, engineers, technicians, and experts. Calculators equip the students with a better understanding on how to solve basic math operations, algebra, trigonometry, and geometry. It helps them verify if they are using the right theory or formula. These tools assist them in visualizing a probable value of an unknown answer. Engineers and technicians can solve an equation easily with readily available trigonometric functions on scientific calculators.
My dear opponents, these are examples of what kids lose when they permit a calculator to do all their thinking. In an article in Education World, Linda Starr lists some of the concerns of critics of calculator, stating that they let students who can perform basic tasks without a calculator, encourage students to randomly try a variety of mathematical computations without any real understanding of which is appropriate or why, preventing students from discovering and understanding underlying mathematical concepts, keeps students from benefiting from one of the most important reasons for learning math, which is to train and discipline the mind and to promote logical reasoning, inhibits students from seeing the inherent structure in mathematical relationships, and last, gives students a false sense of confidence about their math ability.
For the speaker number 3, you will only have 2 minutes to start your rebuttal.
Okay, so our question is, why do you say that calculators give the students the feeling of false confidence? Yes, speaker number 4.
We call it false. We call it that because if they can, once they learn from the answer of the calculator, they always depend on it and not in their own knowledge. Yes, speaker number 3.
But my dear opponents, once they also know the answers of the calculator, they can also learn and they will be motivated to study math more and they will gain true confidence. Yes, speaker number 1.
With all due respect, not everybody want to learn, but they want the subject. They like the subject, but they don't want to learn.
When they like the subject, my dear opponent, they will also want to learn it because they want to excel in their favorite subject.
My dear opponent, what if not everybody thinks that?
Even though that not everyone thinks that, once you know the basic math operations, then it doesn't mean that you don't want to learn. Because when you know it, then you are already learning. Yes, speaker number 1.
If you're learning, how can you maintain your knowledge by not depending on something?
You can
My dear opponents, this is my question. How can it be fair if some students use calculator and some students don't have one, especially if they are taking tests. Do you think it's fair? Yes, speaker number 3.
I believe in the saying that if you want, then there are many ways. But if you don't, then there are many reasons. So if there is a test and the student really want to pass the test, then they can look for ways. For example, they can borrow the calculators of other students if they are done.
Yes.
My dear opponent, what if the student want to rely on themselves? They don't want to depend on something or to borrow or something.
Then if the students want to do that, then that's better. But technology also plays a big role on the knowledge of the students, because today most of the teachers already use technology to make the students understand more. Yes, speaker number 1.
Calculators is all about technology, right?
Yes.
So if we use calculator always, technology will be higher than our learning skills.
Technology can also help the students learn because it can motivate them.
Thank you, speaker number 3. Now let us hear the opinion of speaker number 4 from affirmative, followed by speaker number 4 from negative.
Calculators make tedious math fun, fast, and accurate. Educators and students agree. When used for creative problem solving, motivation in students seems spontaneous. It helps simplify tasks while helping students determine the best methods for solving problems. Calculators stretch the students' interest. It enables the children to solve more interesting problems and work out large divisions which would otherwise discourage.
I, myself, together with the opposition bench, totally disagree with the motion. People find it difficult to do simple calculations without the use of a calculator. Teachers and parents are against making use of calculators for lower level class of students because which reduces the basic skill of learning mathematics techniques among them. Logical thought of mind or logical learning skills keeps on reducing day by day. Even though the need of a calculator is essential and used in wide range of application, manual method of solving the problem is carried out for verification is needed. There are many scenarios where a pupil can make mistakes, such as pressing wrong buttons, forgetting to change the mode, incorrectly rounding the values, and wrong methods of evaluating the bracket. It is not guaranteed that advanced students will not make mistakes. Thank you.
Let us now start the fourth rebuttal. And remember, you will only have 2 minutes.
If we don't use calculators, how can we compete with our neighboring countries who are now using calculators? Yes, Speaker 1.
We can compete them by using our brains without depending on something else.
What if it is, you need to solve it fast so you can compete it in other neighbor countries?
It is not how fast, it is how we learn.
Yes, Speaker 3.
if we are fast in solving, then we also learn more things. And most of the international competitions now require calculators. How can you solve fast if you don't use it?
With all due
Yes, speaker number 1.
with all due respect, you said that we sometimes we need to compete with other countries by being fast, but it is not always fast. We just need to learn. It is not how we win, but it is how we learn. Yes, speaker number 2.
But in international contests, you are given a timer, so you really need to be fast in math. How can you solve it fastly if you don't use calculators? And international contests, their equations and mathematical problems are so long. Yes, speaker number 1.
Again, with all due respect, for us in the opposition bench, many of us now have lack of skill building. Even though we have lack of skill building, we still need to learn, so in not depending on
Time is up.
With all due respect to speaker number 4, together with the affirmative side, why do you say that students of lower level classes must use calculators in order to be fast rather than solving manually to prepare for the tough formulas in higher level of classes? Yes, speaker number 2.
With all due respect,
Did we say that phrase that lower level requires using calculators? Yes, speaker 1.
lower levels is included in minors.
Yes, speaker number 3.
We didn't say that calculators must be used by the lower levels, but calculators nowadays are very useful because our lessons today are already getting much higher and higher every time. So we must also know how to use calculators. Yes, speaker number 1.
Does everybody need to learn how to use calculator and depend on it? It's for your own opinion. Yes, speaker number 3.
Not everyone must depend on the use of calculators, but everyone must know how to use them. Because if we don't know, then we are still in the primitive time. Yes, speaker number 1.
With all due respect, we are here to solve to have a debate about calculators be allowed in math class. So everybody, every classroom has math class. So everybody should use calculators. Is that what you're saying? Yes, speaker number 3.
Thank you, speaker number 4. Now, let us hear the opinion of speaker number 5 from affirmative side and speaker number 5 from negative side.
Some calculators have included mathematical constants and conservation of unit measurement, enabling them to solve mathematical problems efficiently and accurately. Math is a misunderstood art. If people would just try to understand math, they will discover that it is not difficult to comprehend. So, magnify the beauty of mathematics by using calculators.
Lastly, if the use of this handheld device is not stopped in near future, we might lack quality scientists with great computational skills in the near future. There must be rules and guidelines framed by the top educational institutions to make sure that the students are not deprived of their own skills. Calculators are available in variety of brands.
and each brand and model requires a specific set of instructions. It is a proven fact that many of us do not bother to read manual, and it gets lost. Although the instructions are simple, there are chances that pupil might make mistake. A small mistake is sufficient to incorrect the answer. A pupil must have the ability of estimating the right answers, or the pupil would not react the problem. It is in the best interest of students to repeat all the mathematical calculation once. Alternatively, if there is difference in answers between first and second calculation.
Thank you for sharing your opinions. Lastly, this is the last rebuttal for our debate. And I'll repeat, you will only have 2 minutes to do the rebuttal.
Why would you say that if you use calculators, we will lack of scientists in the near future? Speaker number 1.
As you said, as we said, we will lack scientists because technology will be higher. So why do we need scientists if technology is really high?
Why? Do you think we are lacking of scientists? Do you think the successive scientists and like engineers and architectures, they are successive because they don't use calculators?
Yes, right. I guess speaker number 1.
May all you respect, who do you think make calculators?
Humans.
What kind of humans?
Scientists.
So why would you think that technology is getting higher but scientists won't?
Everybody is the same. So you can tell that the other is the best and the other is not. Yes. Yes, speaker number 2.
But scientists now are successive because of the technology. Then why would you say that? Yes, speaker number 1.
For clarification, we didn't said lacking of scientists, but we said lack quality scientists with great computational skills.
Yes, speaker number 3.
Yeah, that is just what we meant. We just didn't say that with great computational skills.
As what you said earlier, math is not difficult to learn. So why can't we just use our brain and not depend on calculators? And speaker number 5.
We can depend on calculators because the use of calculators can get the answers quickly and efficiently.
With all due respect, if the more we learn, the more we will understand about technology. And technology is also about calculators because calculators is also about technology. Yes, speaker number 1.
As we said a minute ago, calculators make calculations answer quickly. So the more you answer quickly, the more discoveries you learn. That's the use of calculators. Yes, speaker number 1.
How can you learn more if the calculators will give the direct answer? Yes, speaker number 3.
For example, there is a very long equation on the board, but you don't know how to solve it. So, with help of calculators, you will challenge yourself to find the correct equation for that problem. Then, once you get the answer, you will be motivated to study more math. And then, after getting a very high score in math, you will gain confidence in yourself. Yes, speaker number 1.
As you said earlier, needs is about technology. So how can you say that technology is how can you say that learning is not more important than technology?
Thank you, speaker number 5. Now that we have heard the opinions on each side, it is now up to the judges to decide who are the winners. You may now shake hands. Thank you and congratulations.
Okay, so thank you for the brilliant ideas that you have shared to us, and even for the bravery and the courage to defend your side. And we also would like to thank our board of judges for being with us here. Let's give them another round of applause. Right. So I'd like to give 2 minutes from the audience. One question only from the audience, and anyone can answer here. Okay? So let's start from the negative side to so that they will answer from the affirmative side. Those who want to ask a question. Yes, come here. The microphone is the wire is too short.
My question is, in such a way of thinking of calculators that can help the student learn, how would you say the calculators help the kid or the children help him or her to learn? Yes. Speaker. I want the audience, sir.
They can learn by example. They saw a long-term problem, then they use calculator. When they got the answer, they are motivated, they have the confidence to solve it manually so that they can find the answer and can learn it. Yes, Speaker 1.
How can they be motivated if they, with all due respect, how can they be motivated if they also use calculator and their brain and the manual solution? Who can answer the question?
Okay, anybody from the audience wants to answer? Okay, time is up. Okay, so anyone from the affirmative side who has a question to the negative side, and then we wrap this up. Okay, so let me remind you that the one that will ask a question is only from the audience, and the one that will answer is from the speakers. So nobody will ask from the speakers, only from the audience. Yes.
To the negative bench, I would like to remind you that the affirmative bench did not exactly say that we would depend every time on the calculator. And with all due respect, may I remind you that we may not be able to use the calculator if we do not have the knowledge of the mathematical abilities or to do it longhand. Yes, Speaker number 1.
with all due respect, that's why we must learn before we use calculators. So learning is more important than technology.
Okay, hear it. Sige. Yes.
If you know how to use a calculator, then you know how the basic math operation works. Because you never know what sign to pick if you don't know what sign you will use in solving such problem. Then, if you are using a calculator, you are already learning, but you're just making it faster. Yes, speaker number 1.
Dear opponents, we have many books. In every grade have a math subject. And it have a math book, so we can learn there the addition, the subtraction, and etc. So we can learn more by using something else than calculators. Yes, speaker number 3.
And we can learn more if we solve the problems faster. So, if with the use of calculators, we can learn more.
Wow, timing. Okay, so that wraps up our debate. Let's give a round of applause. Shall we all rise, the affirmative side and then the negative side, and take a bow. And judges, would you like to say something? Our chairman of the board of judges, Ma'am Hinakay, would like to say something. You may be seated.
When I came into your class, I was very excited, and indeed, you exceeded my expectations, and it brings back a lot of memories when I was still in elementary and in high school, wherein almost every week we do have debates, and I admire Teacher Eden for implementing this kind of activity. Let us give your teacher a big round of applause. A while ago, I was talking with the other members of the Board of Judges, and we share the same opinion. We were very happy of your communication skills, and thank you, Teacher Eden, for allowing the integration of ICT in your class. You see, if it's an integration of technology, it is you who will use technology and not the teacher. Alright? I believe that you were the ones who developed your buzzer. That's research and innovation skills. Of course, you have your ICT skills, you have your communication skills, media. I'm very happy about that. One thing lang for the kids, please be more confident. You do have very good ideas, very brilliant ones. I didn't even expect the audience to also express their very good opinion about the usage of calculators in math classes. Okay? So, all your opinions are actually right, and I hope you were able to also create one big stand about the usage of technology in class, the use of calculator. So, meron ba kayong stand, audience? You're not just an audience there, a mere audience, but you're there to learn from our speakers. I hope this group were able to help. I believe you are researchers, right? Did you help your speakers?
Yes.
Alright. How about the affirmative group? Did you help your speakers?
Yes.
Just like the lawyers, they do have researchers. Research is very important for you to have a very, very brilliant stand about this issue. So, congratulations, and I hope Teacher Eden will be able to implement more. I expect more, alright? In our next visit, I hope to see this in class. So, congratulations.